What's up, levelers? Welcome back to another episode of Level Chronicles, the podcast where we explore gaming, cannabis, and all things entertaining. I'm your host, Chris, and today we've got an awesome guest in the studio. But before we dive into that, it's time for our favorite segment, Leveled Up. I want to know what you've been leveling up on this week, whether it's a new strain, a sick game, some mind-bending entertainment, whatever it may be. Hit us up on the socials at HLC Podcast 420 or visit our website, highlevelchronicles.com, and let us know what you've been fueling up your high-level adventures on. From some of our listeners out there over the last week, I have Donald R., who says, I was leveling up on some sour diesel while writing some music for a video that I'm creating. At Junior Grove 29 says, I leveled up on Starfield and dabbed on some orange drizzle. It's funny, Starfield. I've looked into it. I haven't played it yet, but I've looked into it. At America Tom 77 said, I took some shrooms and watched a complete documentary on space. Now that sounds like some good times that were had by some of our levelers. Redo this part. Now that sounds like some good times that were had by some of our levelers out there. Hit us up. Let us know what you're leveling up on this week. Me currently, I am smoking on some Grape God, which is an indica leaning hybrid. It's actually, what keeps me chill for the podcast as we speak. But it's time to get to the good stuff. Full disclosure up front, though, this is actually the second time we've recorded this episode. The first time we did it, the audio just, I don't know what happened, man. It just wasn't acceptable. It was just messed up, to say the least. So I asked this man if he would care to come back on and do it again. And, well, he agreed after some coercing, but I'm stoked to introduce our guest for today. He is a full-time mechanic, a fire spinner and dancer, a gamer, a streamer, a father of two. Jesus Christ, I'm out of breath. The one and only Brian, a.k.a. Snacks. What's up, bro?
What's going on, man?
Oh, man, doing this again. But in all honesty, I do want to say Brian was extremely excited to come back out, and do the show again. He understood what happened. He was excited. So before we get into everything, man, what are you leveling up on this week?
Oh, man. Pal World. I don't know if you guys have heard about that one yet.
What is it again?
Pal World.
No.
PALWORLD. Pal World is a new game that just released.
Oh, yeah? What's it on?
It is on Xbox and PC. You can get it on Steam, and you can get it on Xbox Game Pass.
Okay. What kind of game is that?
Like a survival game, kind of like Minecraft and like Pokemon mixed together. It's actually pretty dope.
Sounds interesting. You smoking on anything while you playing that, or?
Yes, we got some blueberry headband this week, and some beautiful honey that I made, infused honey.
Infused honey.
Nag Champa.
That sounds like a good time right there. So, let's give the levelers a quick introduction. Who Snacks is? Tell us a little bit about yourself, man.
So by day, I am a mechanic and a father. By night, I am a gamer and a streamer. I do a lot of streaming, a lot of different types of games.
What's your favorite games to stream?
Fortnite, honestly. I get a lot of hate for that, but Fortnite's my main game to go to.
I noticed on your was it your IG? I think had a lot of Fortnite, a lot of Call of Duty too. There's some Call of Duty back there. I saw.
Yeah, I used to play Call of Duty. I currently am banned from there. So
banned? What'd you? All right, wait, hold up. What'd you do to get banned from Call? Like I've been chat banned. I've been, whatever. But what'd you do to get banned from Call of Duty?
So I was getting shadow banned because my spyware software actually had a VPN attached to it. So every time I got reported, it got linked that I had a VPN on my computer. When really,
I use a VPN. That's ready. I have a VPN that I use just because.
Do you?
I keep it on all the time on my computers.
I was getting reported 2, 3, 4 times a day.
And I really do it to play games because all right. So I'm not trying to interrupt here, but
no.
Call of Duty is one of those games, man, where you have a lot of shit talkers. I mean, I'm not saying games. All games have shit talkers, but Call of Duty, it's about shit. I mean, like if you ain't talking shit in Call of Duty, what are you doing? But some people take that too far.
Yes.
And when I say that, there has been a lot of news reports over the years, and it's just really picking up recently, even with swatting and people swatting. So I use a VPN to block my IP. So if I know I piss some people off sometimes and I say some shit I probably shouldn't, because or else I wouldn't get comms banned. You know what I mean? But I don't want anybody looking at my IP and being like, yeah, I know where this motherfucker lives. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't trying to do all that. So I run a VPN all the time.
I sent them a pretty mean email about them banning my account a bunch of times. And I don't think they liked what I said in my email, and they hit me back with a permanent ban.
So you can't just like make a new account on something?
I can. I mean, I can. I said fuck them.
You just said fuck it. You just said you ain't worth the trouble.
They're not getting my money anymore, man.
Right on. So you do all that. I also heard, man, you mentioned to me. So when we were talking about redoing this episode, we actually we're going to shoot it last. So you also do some snow plowing too, right? So you do.
Yeah.
You like kind of do all you jack of all trades here, man.
A little bit.
Kind of doing it all.
We do some construction during the summertime too. So I build in-ground pools, and I also help put up like decks and fencing.
Man, so you just all around
a little bit of everything, man. Busy.
You do any concrete work?
Yes, I do.
Oh shit! Hey, come over to my house here. You know, I got my wife just pulled me outside yesterday. We had a new pool put in a couple years ago, and our concrete patio around it. Man, I don't know what's happened over the winter, but we have fucking spots that like chipped out, and nothing's landed on it. Nothing's happened. It looks like circles, almost like something fell. But I don't have any fucking idea what it is, and it's all chipped up now. So we're gonna have to
probably like uncured pits in the concrete when they poured it.
Maybe. See, I'm thinking they said something about our builder had said maybe down the road we could add some like epoxy topping, like cover to it, like to make it.
Yeah, I know what they're talking about. Yeah,
whatever. Anyway,
if it's poured properly, it wouldn't do that. To be honest with you,
yeah, I keep hearing that. I love the guy that did it, man. He's a good. I mean, he became a friend really that built our pool, and I've helped him with a lot of. Because I actually own a pool company too for maintenance and cleaning and stuff. So we became good friends, and we work with each other. With when he does pools, he'll build them and everything, and then I'll go set the people up with all the equipment, whatever may be, and things like that. But let's get to the good stuff, man. I got to ask. We mentioned it in the beginning. Your bio mentions it. Fire spinning and fire dance. That's intriguing. Can you tell us more about that? And the big question, of course, is do you do it leveled up?
Of course I do. It's the only way to do it. Got to keep your mind open and calm when you're doing that. So being elevated during it is definitely a big thing. How I got into it, man, I went to a rave, I don't even know, 10 years ago, 8 years ago, something like that. It was the first time ever seeing some kid do it at the rave, and I was like, that's really fucking cool. So I walked over to him and asked him about it. He handed me an extra pair that he had, and he said, go learn. So I turned to YouTube and I just started doing it.
So how many times have you burnt yourself?
Oh, tons.
Too many to count. Can't even answer that, right?
I got burns on my thumbs right now.
I got a burn on my fucking forearm from just pulling a pan out of the fucking oven. So I don't even imagine with fire spinning. What do they use on it? Is that just like some like starter fluid or some shit they put on that? Is that, or is it something special?
We use Coleman's camp fuel. So it's a white gas.
Specifically, Coleman's camp fuel.
Well, there's another company called Crown also, but I prefer the name brand Coleman's. It's a clean burning gas. It doesn't have no soot or anything like that to it. The heat transfer from it is not as bad as you would be using like kerosene or anything like that. So when it taps onto your skin and into your clothing, it does not transfer to the fire or the heat from it.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. So is that something you have done like and earn money from? Do you do it like for gigs and stuff like that? Or do you still do it?
I used to, before COVID, I used to do it at raves and parties, weddings and stuff like that. I used to spin for like a fire troop. So like we had like circuses that we would go to and perform at and stuff like that.
So you're not doing it currently though? Not doing anything right now?
No, now I just do it in my backyard for fun.
So in other words, it sounds like I need to have a big party over here with a pool party, bring you over, do some fire spinning, shit, whatever happens, we can just put on a show. So my house, we bought it. The reason we bought it was because it backed up to, I think it was 13 acres of woods. So there's nothing behind us, right? So nice little, which is hard to find nowadays in Frederick, Thermont, anywhere really, around here because property's, a luxury. So I was like, nice, we have nobody behind us. And a year later, they sent us a letter, whether everything came out, that they were building 38 more houses behind us in that little 13 acres. So now it's all kinds of people that literally, since wintertime now, all the houses have actually been they've been building them over the last year and a half, of course, 2 years,
Right.
whatever. But now, since really the coldness picked up, more people have actually started moving into these houses. So what better way, man, to have a party right when summer kicks off and just
Let's
introduce
fucking do it,
everybody.
man.
Let's fucking make it loud. I got a real good friend out of Cumberland, man. He's a DJ, and he'll come up, throw the beats down,
Hell yeah.
music. We can have a good old time. That sounds like a party right
Let's
there.
do it. That'd be awesome.
Might piss the neighbors off or might make some new friends. Who knows? Either way.
I can even go as far as actually get a permit to do it too.
I don't think you even need permits here in Thurmont.
Some places you do, some places you don't.
Well, I asked. Well, I'm going to say no only because. So I was looking at last year when marijuana became legal in Maryland, right, for recreational use. That was July 1st. We had a big party July 1st, right? And my buddy from Cumberland was going to come DJ the event, and I called the town. I was like, do I have to have a permit? Do I have to have, anything special with the noise? All the, if we're going to have a DJ and it's going to be during the day, there is a noise ordinance in town for certain hours. But I was like, do I need any type of permits? And they're like, no, you don't need any type of permits unless you're making money from it. So
okay.
I have a feeling our town's an old school town. You know what I mean? It's an old country town. So unless it's probably profitable, they probably aren't going to care about permits. Either way, anyway, let's get back to the good stuff. Let's shift gears a little bit. We talked about your fire spinning, man. That sounds awesome. That's something definitely interesting. Gaming and streaming. We touched on it just a little bit. Tell me about your gaming and streaming. I hear you had some cup qualifiers or something going on with Fortnite recently.
Yeah, well, we tried for the FNCS this year. This was my first one in 3 years to try to qualify for. We did not qualify, but we gave it our best shot.
But you don't give up. You keep grinding.
I actually didn't.
Was you too high? Did you fuck up? You were too high. Couldn't even play that day.
No, I wasn't too stoned. I haven't played in like a week and a half, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna run FNCS tonight with no practice. Why not?"
And we see, I guess, how well that worked out for you.
That didn't go too well there.
So what? So do you stream? Do you have a regular stream schedule or anything? Or
no? So I used to. I used to actually make a living off streaming. Before COVID and everything like that, I used to stream on Facebook gaming actually, and I brought in a living doing so. COVID hit, and the streaming community just kind of took a dive because so many people flooded it. So
let me ask this real quick. At your peak when you were doing Facebook, like how many viewers were you getting?
Anywhere from like
stream?
50 to like 200. It depended on the day, on the time that I streamed to.
And that's on Facebook game that you're talking about on Facebook. So that's not even, I would say that's pretty fucking good because that's not even a real, and nothing to get, but it's not a real popular platform compared to something like Twitch, right? Or even YouTube, not live streaming on YouTube, Twitch, I think, is the go-to for the most part for gamers.
So now my go-to is TikTok now.
Really? For live? You can live stream?
I get my most interaction off of TikTok now.
Interesting. I didn't even know you. So here's my thing with TikTok, man. Over COVID, right? Everybody was getting TikTok, and it was the whole. Actually, it was before COVID. TikTok came out, but that was the whole like Chinese conspiracy thing, right? And I was kind of iffy because I was like, why is this? Whatever. And then COVID hit, and and I got kind of bored one evening, and I got on TikTok. Or actually, no, what it was, man, was I was on Facebook. And I was seeing all these little snippets of fucking TikToks, and it was TikToks on the bottom. You could see but they were cutting off before I could fucking figure out what the fuck happened in it. So I got pissed and downloaded TikTok. I'm like, I got to see what happened in some of these videos. You know what I mean? Like, and then I went down this rabbit hole, dude, and I got caught up in TikTok like no fucking other. I mean, I'm serious, man. I would sit down, let's just say fucking 7:00, right? And I would start looking at videos, and literally the next thing I know, it's 9:30.
Yep.
Like. Nothing, like in no time. And then I even went to the point I do a lot of fishing and hunting and stuff, and I tie flies for fly fishing and stuff. And so I started tying flies on TikTok, and posting videos and stuff like that. But then I started hanging out with people that were doing it on there, and that turned into just this whole thing that I got kind of stuck in this rabbit hole of TikTok for a while. And I didn't delete TikTok, but I just stopped getting on it. So I actually haven't been on it probably in a good year. Like I get on and see a video here and there, but I just haven't been on because I don't want to hit that fucking rabbit hole again
I've
of
actually
going
only been
down.
on TikTok for about a year now, so I'm a little late to the party.
So you came on as I got out, and so now I'm about to get back on and check out some of your stuff.
My Twitch was taking a dive. So like I was getting less and less viewers, and then somebody came in my chat one day and was like, "Dude, stream on TikTok."
Have you heard of what is that one I heard of? Kick?
Yeah, yep. I stream on Kick once in a while too.
I didn't know. I think that's another one. Um, Somebody had mentioned to me, I think Kick for the podcast actually. Somebody
Yeah,
said something about maybe posting the podcast videos because, as you know, when we record the podcast, well, the viewers might not know because they only hear it right now, but it is audio, it is video recording as well. So we have video of everything. Maybe we'll release it one day. Maybe I don't fucking know. I plan
yeah.
on
Kick.
maybe eventually being able to, maybe down the road I'll get a co-host, maybe, and maybe I'll start just, putting it on YouTube and stuff and maybe
Yeah.
putting on stuff. But I heard Kick was better because of cannabis, because
Yes.
they aren't, I hear, especially when it comes to monetization. Now, I think this podcast, I created it, man, not for money. It's just for fun. I love talking to the people. I love informing people. I love just chatting, whatever. But if I ever would end up monetizing the thing, I hear there might be some issues with YouTube, and everybody said Kick would be the way to go with
Yes.
that. So it's something I might have to look into down the road,
So Kick
for
is
bits.
definitely when I'm in like a squad or something like that. To where I have to watch everybody else what they're saying. TikTok is very strict. So when I'm with all my other friends and stuff like that, then I'll usually either stream to Twitch or Kick because Kick has no regulations really. You can smoke on your stream there. They don't have any copyrights for
Really?
music,
So
so you
I
can
mean, you
play
can
whatever
see
music.
we smoked on the stream here,
Yep.
so that's what I'm worried about with YouTube, man. Like, are they going to
Yeah,
fucking?
YouTube can be a little iffy on that too, but I'll literally be taking dabs right on stream and Kick.
See, that's cool. See, I'd
Just
like to be
out
able
in
to
the
post
open.
videos.
Don't gotta hide it or anything like that. Don't
I
gotta
think
hide my music.
the other thing I heard about and is Patreon. I think there's something with Patreon where like you can get subscribed, like people can pay, but you can kind of post whatever you want, and they're
Yeah.
not going to do anything. So that's cool that there's options, just for not just for streaming, especially with cannabis, because I mean, just like his podcast, cannabis, gaming, streaming, it all kind of go, it kind of goes together for those that do it. Now, what I get with that is what I'm saying is if you do it, who cares? You know what I mean? Like I'm like, who
Right.
cares if you do it? So these companies worried. I get you worried about the kids and people watching, seeing people doing it. But if you have, I know for a fact on YouTube, there's 18 plus. There's warnings
Yep.
for. So if you have that, to me it seems. God, I feel like we're going a whole wild. I'm going off a whole fucking political track now. But it seems like they're like these companies aren't the fucking parents. So why are you if the parents aren't watching their kid, if they're under the age to not be viewing that, it's not your fucking problem. It's the fucking parents' problem. So why limit these people to what they can do, with for
Yeah.
adults? That's what gets me, man, is that whole
Yeah. All my streams are set to 18 plus.
well, even this podcast is, I even have it set to not safe for work or whatever it is for Apple,
Right. Right.
whatever. But it's still they block certain stuff. They do, if I want a video, if I want to put the video up, they're gonna, something's going, and it's like why it's marked 18 plus. People agree that they're 18 fucking plus when you click on it to view it.
Right.
Why are you still limiting? Because and the reason they say is children. I mean, I get kids, but more of a parental thing. Anyway, man. Game, so you stream on that stuff, so you don't really have a regular schedule right now, but I assume you just throw some stuff up here and there. Is that what you do? Are you doing more
Yeah,
clips now?
I post more clips than I do anything else. No matter what, anytime I'm gaming, I'm recording, whether I'm streaming or not. I'm always constantly recording, constantly posting clips. It's kind of how I keep my pages going. Usually I'll hop on a stream once a week, usually maybe twice a week if I got some extra free time.
So, do you do a lot of editing? Do you spend a lot of time editing?
Yes. I
What
have
do you
files
use
and
for editing?
files and files of gaming clips, and I use Eclipse.
I'm just saying because I know even just the podcast here, man, it's fucking. Sometimes it's a nightmare for editing. You know what I mean?
So,
And that's just audio right now. I'm not even editing video yet, so I
Eclipse Eclipse.gd is a site for pulling gaming clips pretty much only. For Call of Duty, Apex, Fortnite, and I think they have another one on there that they use now too. But anytime that you're streaming and or recording, that website is playing in the background and automatically pulls and records your clips back onto that website for you. So then when you're done streaming, you can go back onto the website, edit and cut the clips, and then convert them straight to TikToks and post them straight from that website straight to your TikTok.
That's
So
cool,
it makes
man.
it very easy to be able to do that.
What's cool, what you're saying about that is what might help me in the future. Um, the studio that we're in right now, the studio I say is an online studio that my guests can join and I can have other hosts in here, whatever. It's called Riverside, and if you they have a premium feature which I haven't paid for because I'm just starting out, but there is a premium subscription you can get that they call Magic Clips. And what it does is it edits everything for you. You don't have to do anything. You can click like Magic Clips and you can click TikTok or whatever, and it'll create clips that they think from the show is best for that. Now that sounds like well worth the money to spend the time edit. If it works right, and it's something I need to look into. But editing is just a huge. It's a pain, dude. I have so much shit in edit, like you say, in files on hard drives that are just like sitting there, like either maybe for later, add it to a vault later. I don't know, something like our episode, man. Our first episode. I'll tell everybody. I think I told you this before. God, I have a little cold this morning. I spent 2 days trying to fix that audio that was just so fucked up, and I still don't know what it was. But I have it, somewhat like it's listenable. Don't get me wrong, but it's not quality that I am going to release on the show. But if I ever decide to do like a vault one day, and maybe people will hear it down the road, like hear the fuck up of, what it was like in the beginning of everything. But I'll have that's why I don't get rid of files for this stuff, because it may be used one day. It's not taking. I mean, I say it's not taking up space like clutter in a house, but it's taking up space on a drive. But I ain't worried about that, man. My computer has more than enough drives to, hold those files.
Yeah, I got a lot of clips of even me dying to stupid things that I just saved because one day I'll release a montage of just my fuck ups.
It's good, so it's funny shit. You know what I mean? It's sometimes it can be fun. So with gaming, man, let's go back to gaming a little bit. How long have you been gaming? What was your first system? What do what?
My very first system was Atari. Growing up.
Wait. Atari. Yeah. I'm gonna stop right here for a second. How was Atari your first system? You were only what, 33?
33, yep.
And I'm 42, and Atari was one of my first systems.
My dad had an Atari.
That's awesome.
That was the first.
That's awesome. And your dad kept it and let you play it. Yep. That's awesome.
We still have that same Atari in the black carrying case for it up in our attic, up in his attic.
Dude, that's awesome. See how I've got my Atari. The very first one was my uncle had it. And he never played it. Never did. Like we would go over there one night, everyone, because they actually lived like right up the block from us where we lived. And so we would go over there and play, because he had 2 girls, so they were my cousins, of course. But I didn't really, me and the girls, I don't, nothing for me to play with. Well, he had the Atari, and we would play Pong and shit, me and him. And then it was like, I don't know, a year or so later, man, he was just like, look, I don't play it. You can have it. Just take it home with you. And it was in the black case and everything. So that's how I got the Atari. You know what I mean? And then I got the Nintendo. But go on. So you got the Atari. All right. So now I know how you got it.
Played some regular Nintendo and Super Nintendo growing up as a younger kid. And then kind of when I became a teenager, I kind of stopped. I got more into, BMX, dirt bike racing and stuff like that.
Now, is that something you still do?
No, not anymore. I had some injuries that kind of kept me from doing that.
God, me too, man. I used to ride motorcycles, and
we can talk about that later
on.
But so then, I don't know, probably 20, 21, I kind of got back into gaming again. Kind of started playing World of Warcraft again.
How long did you play World of Warcraft? Did you go down a rabbit hole, World of Warcraft?
Yeah, too long.
I know people.
They have 2 computers set up at the same time, so I can run 2 different accounts on there at the same freaking time, because I had no life.
I know a lot of people that are still into World of Warcraft to this day, that just diehards, diehard players.
I can't do. I don't have time for that anymore.
Yeah, because isn't it like if you don't stay up on it, then you're kind of left behind? Is that kind of like how it is?
I've tried to log back into my account before. Half my characters are gone. I can get into my account, but I'm so far lost on it. I'm so far behind on the expansions and everything. It's like it's not even worth it.
And you got to pay for every single one of those. Don't you?
Every
It can
single
get
one, yeah.
expensive, huh? All right, so you got into World of Warcraft. Then what? So where'd you go from there?
Then Call of Duty came around.
Which one was that? What was the Call of
Shit.
Duty you like playing? So
Call
what's
of
your
Duty
favorite? Let me
4.
ask you this: you used to play Call of Duty, so you had to have been, a Call of Dutyan or whatever the hell you want to call these people. What was your favorite and least favorite Call of Duty?
My favorite Call of Duty was Black Ops 1.
Okay,
Honestly. My least favorite one was shit, I don't even remember which one it is. The one with the jetpacks.
that's what, dude. The one where you fucking climb slide walls and shit.
Yeah, I
Like,
did not
oh,
like
dude,
that.
horrible, wasn't it? That's I would say the same exact.
If I
Your
wanted to play
answer
that,
is my
I would have
answer.
played Titanfall, bro. If I wanted to go
Exactly.
climb across
Yes.
walls and play
Exactly.
that,
That's when it
play
was out
Titanfall.
too. I think that's what
Yep.
they got it from. I think that
They
was
did.
the whole hype behind it. Titanfall was fun, man. I used to play Titanfall, and I
Yes.
I had a blast on fucking Titanfall. And then Call of Duty, Call of Duty pulled it in. I just couldn't get with it. It just the mechanics just wasn't there with the Call of Duty thing. You know what I mean? It just wasn't
It
the
messed the
same.
whole game up. Messed the whole game up.
I would say 90% of the people I ask have that as their least favorite Call of Duty. I think Call of Duty even knows that game just fucking sucked.
Yeah,
Like,
it flopped.
people played it. Don't get me wrong. People still played it because it's Call of Duty, but I don't know anybody that says that was my favorite fucking title they've released yet. If you are out there, listeners, hey, if that title, I can't even think of the name of it. That's how bad it is. Whatever title that was in Call of Duty,
Warfare or something like that.
yeah, hit me up. If that's your favorite title, legit, I want to fucking know because I ain't heard that from nobody. Like, nobody. So you got into Call of Duties, you was playing Call of Duties, and then what? You went to Fortnite?
Yeah, I mean, well, PUBG came out. I
Oh
really
shit,
like
you were a
PUBG.
PUBGer. Okay.
Yes. And H1Z1. I don't
Yep,
know if
I remember
anybody
that.
even knows that. All right.
Yep,
So that
yep.
was like
That's
the
still
first kind of like battle royale games.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
That
Got
was
really
rough,
into
dude.
them.
H1Z1 was kind of rough.
Dude,
The
servers were so trash.
I played it. It was rough. It was rough. I played PUBG too for a little bit.
It was so blocky and everything, man. But yeah, and then Fortnite came out, and of course, they had better servers, better maps. The mechanics on the game are a lot better. So of course I switched to Fortnite, and I kind of just fell in love with it, man. I like that
I
it's ever changing, and that I gotta constantly like try to stay at the same level, because if you stop trying, like, you get so far behind, you're not gonna win any games.
I played Fortnite when it first came out. I got into it. Um, I played it for a while. It had to have been a while. I don't know how long from the release, but the last time I played Fortnite was when the Marshmallow event was, and that was, not that it was bad. I don't remember what I think I really got into Dead by Daylight more. I think that was
Okay.
about the time I started getting into Dead by Daylight, and Fortnite just kind of fell off. And then I think I ended up fucking. Oh no, I know what happened. That is the time that I switched. So I switched. I switched from PlayStation to Xbox. And when I was transferring my Fortnite stuff, I had that. Do you remember the Samsung Galaxy skin in Fortnite that was like all the hype?
Yes.
Like, you had to buy the phone to get it. Like, I had that skin and it wouldn't transfer. And I was so pissed that skin wouldn't transfer because it was only allowed on one, whatever it was, whatever the reason, it wouldn't let me transfer that skin to my account, even though all my other stats transferred.
Right.
I got pissed. And that's when I was like, nah, I'm done. You messed up. Like, that was my skin, man. That was my jam,
I don't
for
have
the
the
skin.
Galaxy skin, but I have the S9 icon skin, which is like the ninja with the black and red outfit.
Yep.
That you can only get with the S9. I still have that skin too.
Nice. So that's when I stopped playing Fortnite and started. Yeah, I think it was a mix of that, not being able to do that, and then me playing Dead by Daylight more. Just really got me away from it. And then I actually went back to Fortnite just actually within the last year, I think. Yeah, I was playing Call of Duty and I was like, you know what? Let me try Fortnite. And I switched to PC one. Remember, over the last year, I've switched to PC. Over the last couple of years, I switched to PC. And bro, I was getting fucking destroyed. I just couldn't keep up. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I was getting to and I was like, yeah, I can't do this. So and plus, I don't have anybody to play it with, to show to keep me motivated and to, keep trying. So I said, I went back to Call of Duty. I was like, yep, I'm going back to Call of Duty. The whole building and all that stuff. It was just way too much for me to try to keep up with the PC, side
Do
of it.
Do you play on mouse and keyboard?
No, I use controller.
Okay.
I play PC, but I only use a controller because it's probably just me. I just never got the hang of using the the
Right, right.
letters and buttons and my fingers moving around. So I'm sure if I muscle memory would keep me at it, but I'm just a
Yeah, I'm going
controller
on
guy.
about a year on mouse and keyboard now, and I still hit the wrong keys sometimes. I still fumble if I'm getting all anxious and everything in a fight, but I
I mean,
personally
I
love it
used to be
now.
as fast as the keyboard players back in the day with Fortnite, with building with
Yeah, but you're
my,
getting
my
old, man.
controller. But yeah, nowadays, especially, I fucked up my hand, so I don't have that dexterity now that I used to have with moving it as fast. So,
The reaction time slows down, man. A lot of people don't think it does, but it makes a big difference.
oh yeah, for sure. And eyesight, dude, just my
Yep.
eyesight's gotten worse. So I was playing Call of Duty. It was either last night or day before. I couldn't even see a guy, and he blasted me. I was like, I couldn't even see you sitting there. And everybody else was like, he was right there, and I'm like, motherfucker, I'm 41 going on 42. I couldn't see that. I couldn't see him. They blend in with the background.
Yep.
You have to really be looking.
Yeah, I just posted a clip on TikTok the other day that you can't see the person that I shot, but I knew he was there. But you can't see him on the screen at all.
That's
You just
funny.
see like loot explode and then the Victoria Royale pop up.
So you won that one.
Yeah, I want it. Yeah.
Nice. So let's switch gears a little bit. You mentioned in your bio that smoking throughout your day helps with work and gaming and streaming. Can you
Yes.
elaborate on that some? How did you get into what got you into cannabis? How does it help you?
So a couple years ago, about 5 years ago, my doctor actually recommended it. I was on painkillers for medical issues that I have. I was on like antidepressants and ADHD medicine and everything like that. And my doctor thought it'd be good for me to kind of get away from that stuff and kind of go a more natural route. I had smoked weed before that, of course, recreationally. Um, but ever since then, I've switched to medical, and it's really helped a lot. I don't take any of my medications anymore. The only kind of pain pills that I ever take are like Tylenols when they're needed. But other than that, I make edibles. They really help me with my pain and my Crohn's disease, with my stomach
So
and
you
everything
make
like
you
that.
make edibles?
Yes.
What
Yep.
kind of edibles do you make?
A little bit of everything, man. We make gummies. I just made some muffins, some cranberry muffins infused, and then I'm actually taking the honey that I infused and drizzling the honey over top of them.
So when you make, let's just say the
Phenomenal.
muffins, you said the muffins. Let's just take this for
Yep.
instance. What do you use to infuse that?
Butter, butter for
So
the
you use the
muffins.
butter. So you do
Yeah.
make your own butter. So you make your own
Yep.
butter. What's your
I
procedure
make
for
my own
butter?
butter. I make my own coconut oil, and I make my own honey.
So I've made the butter.
Right.
I've made butter. I don't think it's as potent as I thought it would be. And it's probably just because my first time trying to make it. You know what I mean? I've made the coconut oil. That was the very first thing I made because
Mm-hmm.
everybody said that was the best and easiest thing. My problem with the coconut oil I have is I bought a jar of coconut oil, like the refined, whatever it said to buy, whatever they
Mm-hmm.
all the everything. It was hard, right?
Yeah, the
So,
virgin. Yeah.
and so now that can of oil, or whatever you want to call it, is it's hard too. So I have to break it up every time to get
Mm-hmm.
whatever I need. That's just doing it. So I just made for the first time just regular oil, like a vegetable, or
Okay. Okay.
olive oil is what it is. It's olive oil. Um, that, and then I made just recently a tincture for the first time.
Okay. Love tincture.
So
Love tincture.
the reason I did that is because I made that oil because everybody said I wanted to learn. I wanted to make my own. I fucking love Nerds ropes. Like that's what my first edible was. A fucking Nerds rope got me so fucking
Mm-hmm.
why. So instead of buying, I was like, I'm gonna make my own. And everything I'm telling you, I swear I've looked at multiple YouTube videos and talked to multiple forums, and everybody said use your oil and just melt down gummy bears essentially, mix it in with it, etc. Make your Nerds ropes, let them cool, whatever. Problem is, the oil's separated from it every
Yeah.
time I've tried it, and I'm like, dude, when I go to grab a Nerds rope, it's just oily because it all separated and it's just all
Mm-hmm.
over the shit. So that wasn't any good. I didn't get any effect out of any of it.
You need an
So
emulsifier.
So that's like the sunflower lecithin.
Yes.
But see, none of the
Lecithin
recipes
is the best one though.
I have that, but none of the recipes that I looked at. So I'm saying it called for that. So now I know
Specific
that.
recipes. Yeah, screw those recipes. You gotta have an emulsifier when you're doing gummies.
So I'm gonna have to get with you on the side. We're have to talk on the side, bro, because I really want to make some gummies, and I need to learn how to do it. Because I made that tincture to make the gummies, but when I made the tincture, I had to, cut it down so much that it's almost nothing left. It's just
Right.
it's like an oil, so I don't know. So I've
Yeah,
had my
I use a
experience with
coconut oil.
edibles.
My coconut oil is only used for making gummies and hard candies.
So you make hard candies
Yeah.
with it too. What kind of hard?
Yep.
Like, so what kind of
Like
hard candies?
lollipops and stuff.
Shit, dude. So you're making all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
So let me say. So let's just say your muffins, right? You said, do you keep track of like the how much
Yes. So
contents in?
I dose mine very specifically. I dose mine to me and to me only. So most of my edibles, my gummies will come out at about 10% or 10 milligrams. And any of my baked goods usually come at about 18 to 20, depending on how I'm feeling that day. I keep low doses though on purpose so that I can eat them in the morning and still go to work and function properly.
So speaking of that, so you take some edibles before you go to work. So
Yes.
you're. Now I remember. Now see, this is going to come up. Hold up. Now I got to say, our original fucking recording. You had a story about fucking up with some edibles on a vehicle. Let's go into that again. Let's tell everybody that we got to talk about that again for sure. So you used to taking the edibles. We know that you go to work and you're 99.9% of the time you're perfectly fine.
Yes.
But there is that slim chance that shit happens. So let's hear it. What happened?
I don't remember. I don't even remember what I said the last time. To be honest with you, I know I was having like an off morning. I got a little too stoned off the edibles. I was going to do an oil change, just simple something that I do, tens and thousands of a year, and I forgot to put the freaking oil cap back on. Closed the
A
hood,
fucking
went to go
rookie ass
pull
mistake.
the fucking car out of the bay, and oil just erupted.
And that's like the rookiest
oil.
of rookiest mistakes, right?
Yes.
Like that's just.
This is the simplest thing, man.
Thank you,
Simplest
weed.
thing. And then I was there for just like 5 hours cleaning up oil. I had it all over the lifts. It was all over my toolboxes. It was on the fucking ceiling of the fucking shop. Like it was everywhere, man.
They essentially got 2 oil changes.
Yes, they did. And a free car wash.
So do the edibles? Do they just help you? Like just you say I don't want to go into all the. You said you got off all your medicines. I don't know what medicine you're on, but I know for me personally, smoking. I don't. I like edibles. I just don't like buying them because they're expensive, and you've heard me about making them. So I smoke a lot. But smoking just helps keep me. I got off my anxiety medicine that I was put on years ago. I got off, basically everything, and it just keeps me. That's my medicine. It keeps me level. I don't. It's not that I may have those moments like you during the day that once in a blue moon, maybe a new strain or something, mess me up too much,
right.
But for the most part, it keeps me level. It keeps me good. And then in the evening, maybe I turn it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But during the day, it's a whole different story. So for you, it sounds like you might have a little bit similar. You take a little bit of edibles in the morning.
Yeah, I take the edibles in the morning mainly for professionalism. One of the main things. I don't want to go to work smelling.
Yep.
Like
absolutely.
Any kind of flower or anything like that. So edibles definitely help on that aspect. Also, they help with my body pain more than smoking does. As to where like my joints and my Crohn's disease and everything else like that, it helps with the flaring up of my stomach. It helps with the cramping
because they last longer, right? Edibles will stay in your system longer.
Yes. And using coconut oil and honey, they're actually good for your stomach too, for your digestive tract. So that really helps me in that too.
We got to talk offline, like about some stuff. Like I have some serious questions. I don't want to bring up any personal stuff. You know what I mean? But like I think you and my wife might have some similar. You all are about the same age, and I think you'll have some similarities on that side of stuff that maybe interesting perspective of yours and her. That maybe we don't know about. She has some bowel issue, like stuff with IBS, I think, or something.
Cannabis is great for a lot of things, man. And a lot of people think that, a lot of users are just out there getting stoned, but it's really not. It's, it is very
Yeah, that's the stigma, man. That's what, just not just this podcast I'm trying to break, but the stigma of everything. I just had a great guest on the show. Actually going to be the very first guest that hasn't released yet. It releases February 2nd. No. February. Wait, is that a Wednesday? Whatever that first Wednesday in February is, 7th maybe. Yeah, 7th. 2nd Saturday because my birthday's the 30th. Great interview with her on all that. On the whole. She's a counselor. She runs a couple businesses. She's certified in all of that stuff and had some great perspectives from her on how different ways to do, things, to help with pretty much everything. But the big thing was the big thing is a stigma, and just breaking down these barriers because, people just think, oh, you smoke, they're a pothead. They ain't got nothing to do. Now, don't get me wrong. There are people out there that are like that. And it just happened, there are. But for the most part, it's people's medicine. It literally is just their medicine. They aren't doing it to just fucking get high. They aren't doing it just to be cool. Oh, I'm smoking weed or I'm eating edibles. Haha. That's not, no, they're doing it because they figured out that a single plant that comes out of the ground can do everything that 10 pills can do.
Yep. Exactly.
But yet it's federally illegal. Explain, you know what I mean? And I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. I mean, we can do that a whole other time. You know what I mean? Yeah,
I could talk hours on that.
God, dude, I'm telling you, it's just that's a whole thing. But it was a great episode. So definitely make sure all the listeners check that one out. That episode it's actually this episode's recorded in advance. I'm about to edit this because this episode's recorded in advance. So all listeners, go back, check out the episode with Cerise Scott too. That was episode number 6. Yeah, episode number 6. Check it out. Listen to it. Anyway, man. So back to the cannabis. So what's your routine evening like? What do you like? Do you like to turn up a little bit in the evening or on weekends? What do you?
Definitely turn up a lot more in the evenings and on the weekends. Usually once I get home from work, that's when I kind of start dabbing.
So is that your go-to? Is that what you like? Yeah. Dabs? Besides the edibles, of course, throughout the.
I like the waterfall effect that I get from concentrates. I don't know if anybody's going to understand what I mean by that, but usually after a long day, I come home, take a dab, and I can literally feel it start at like my brain and kind of work its way down my body, and it's just like a relief. Like everything just kind of like stops and slows down for a second, and I just feel good.
So I actually can see in your video there you got a torch. Are you an old school dabber? I say old school dabber, but do you like the heat? Or do you like a Puffco? You know what I mean? The Puffcos or everything.
I like the Puffcos, but I am a little old school with it. I also run the
This is the only thing I have.
Okay. Oh yeah.
And I don't remember what it is, but I've tried it a few times, and my problem with the dabs. Let me put this back before the mic gets up. I'll edit this shit. That's my edit signal. The problem with the dabs that I have is it makes me cough too much. And maybe that's just me not knowing, I don't know. I've just never dabbed. I've never vape. I don't vape. You know what I mean? That's what I heard. Turn it down. And this one has like 3 temp settings. I try them all, but it's still fucking, I don't know.
Still blast your lungs.
Maybe it's just the shit. I don't know how to put it in right. Cause I feel like I'm putting a lot in, but it just doesn't ever seem to get a lot out of it. Does that make sense? Like, right. I don't know. Maybe I'm not, maybe it's the carb cap. So maybe we'll have to link up sometime and do a little sesh. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely keep it a little older school with the torches, but I do. Like I said, I have my little seahorse. This is my little portable one that I use for like at work if I need it, or if I'm going out for the evening in the car. I'll take this with me because it's just simple and sleek.
Right on.
But yeah, I love my old school rigs. For
sure. So your edibles, do you make any stronger edibles for yourself for like the weekends or anything? Or do you really just stick with your 10s just for that reason?
Yeah, my 10s and 20s just for that reason. Like the edibles aren't really for me to get fucked up on. They're really for medical reasons for my body and everything like that. And my digestive tract.
I've learned over the time, edibles, I have to take a lot to really get fucked up.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I really have to take a lot, like depending on what it is. And I think it's because, you're from Maryland, you're here, about the DC I-7 shit,
Yep.
I have gone down and got, before I knew of everything, this was before recreational, before everything, whatever. I've gone down and got some, nerds ropes and stuff. And that's what got me hooked on the nerds ropes. But the problem was it was very inconsistent. You know what I mean? I would take one nerds rope and they have, I know now that it's generic fucking packaging. It just says, here's your strengths or whatever. I would need to take like 2 of the ones that would say the walls are melting or whatever. To double that to fill, But then sometimes I would only need to take, a quarter of that to be blown. And that was my problem with it. That's why I wanted to start making my own, because it was just so inconsistent.
That's actually why I started making my own. I was also buying them from DC a lot, and the same thing would happen. One day I'd eat some and nothing at all would happen, and then the next day I'd eat the same exact thing and I'd be fucking floored. And it's like, damn, I can't function like this.
I've done the same thing with dispensary edibles.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
ordered, and I'm going to call them out because I don't give a fuck. I ordered G Leaf branded edibles that I thought, I'm just going to try them just because they were on sale. Whatever. Let me try them, just see what they're like. I figured they were going to be nasty. Dude, I ate 10 of the 10 milligrams, so 100 milligrams, where I didn't feel a fucking thing. Like, not one thing. Like, not one thing. And they were the nastiest. I mean, nastiest things ever. But yet, I go to a brand called Hetty.
Mm-hmm.
One, just one of those have me fucking feeling not like fucked up, but like perfect, like the perfect. Like if I could say, if I want to take an edible in the evening and just feel great for the evening, that would be the perfect dose. But then you go back the next day, I take it. It took two to get to that point, and I'm like, that's when I was like, bro, these fucking edibles, man, they're not consistent.
There's only one company that I will buy out in Maryland, and that is Betty's Eddies.
I don't like I have their chews, and they're disgusting, dude. I just can't get on board. I have a few of them right now. I have the strawberry chews. I had some pineapple ones, and they're just so like bitter to me.
I only get the
aftertaste. Yeah, that was my problem. Is it chews?
From the
is it the chews?
They're not the. They're the like, what do you fucking call that shit? Boardwalk candy.
Taffy,
yeah.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, it's the chews. It's taffy. It's what it is. Yeah, but mine, bro. Both. I've tried this fucking pineapple one and this strawberry one, and I thought maybe it was the pineapple because the pineapple one I got from them was a mix. It had CBD in it too, so it was like, that's good for some things. So I thought maybe, even though CBD shouldn't really have it, maybe that's throwing the flavor off some. So I got it shouldn't, but I thought so. I got their strawberry ones that were just straight regular edibles, THC, and still the same fucking intense. Even my wife says the same thing. It has that intense aftertaste. It's just fucking disgusting. I don't even know how to explain it. So I don't know. But I hear it. Look, I hear everybody talk about how much they love Betty's Eddie, and it's just not for me.
I'll have to try some of the other flavors. The only flavors I've ever had are the watermelons. Those are the only ones I buy.
Bro, come up sometime. I'll have to give you. I mean, I have a whole cabinet. I have some strawberry ones and stuff. You can have one, but to me, it's just I like the Bubba's baked goods. I do like now they taste really good, but again, inconsistent. With how many you need, and those aren't cheap, so that's a flaw to me. If you're paying, what is it? What was it? $40 or $50 for that was for 4 muffins or whatever it is, brownies, cookies, whatever you want to buy from them, great. They're great tasting, but the absolute, I'll tell you this, man, if you find the absolute best tasting edibles recently that I've tried are those, I think they're called Beazle Bubs or something.
I like Beazle in general. Beazle's a great company. I haven't had any of their edibles, but I get a lot of their concentrates from Beazle.
Because I got to see what it is. But dude, I've tried so many flavors of theirs. They have I don't know if you like, what horchata is?
Yeah. Yep.
Dude, they have a horchata flavor that, it is they are so good. But the only thing with them is they only come in 10 milligram, and I like the high dose, I like the 40 milligram. And so I get a whole pack of these edibles and I have to literally eat the whole thing pretty much to, feel anything. But Beazle Bites, that's what they're called. Beazle Bites. Right. Dude, the black and white crunch, the milk chocolate, all of them, dude. They have a sour watermelon now. I'm going to have to try that. They have a white chocolate berry. Dude, they are amazingly flavored.
Anything watermelon, I'm down.
And again, with them, so they are one company. I would say the consistency has been good. It's just they only come in 10, so it takes a few to get in. And for whatever reason, theirs, like I needed to eat like 4 or 5 of them, like 40, 50 milligrams to get me what I really want to feel like, which is relevant though to what I would normally do with, let's say, a Hetty of 40 milligram. One would put me in a perfect space if they were consistent, so the Beazles, at least they're consistent. I know if I eat 4 or 5, I know for a fact I'm going to feel pretty good. You know what I'm saying? So I got to say they are consistent.
You'll have to try one of mine out one day,
dude.
So with the muffin and the honey, if I do the combo, they come out to be about 32 to 38 milligrams. Nice. I personally think for a good afternoon, they're perfect.
That sounds like a Sunday afternoon to me.
Yes.
Got the games today. I don't know if you watch football or not.
Yeah, I'm actually. We're gonna start some wings here soon after this.
We're going to a comedy club tonight.
Oh hell yeah!
One of the local places here in Frederick, Cellar Door. Every Sunday they do a comedy thing, and tonight it's a guy from Comedy Central done some stuff. So we're gonna go down. Okay. Good on there tonight.
Be making some hot wings today.
Nice. I love some hot wings. Well, look, man, we need to get ready to wrap this up. We are pushing the time, but when we come back, it's time for the lightning level. You all know what that is. We're going to get in with some quick fire questions. But before we do that, here's a word from our show sponsor, High Level Hydro. All right. So you know the deal here.
Yep.
I'm going to just come right back with it. Now, before we wrap things up, it's time for the lightning level. So here's how this is going to work. I'm going to throw a few questions at you, and I just need some quick answers, whatever comes to your head, okay?
All right.
Ready?
Let's get it.
Favorite video game of all time?
Borderlands.
It's all right. Best strain for a gaming session?
Blueberry muffins, blueberry cookies, or blueberry headband.
So you just like you like the blueberry.
I like the blueberry strains.
Got you. What is, this is a two-part question. I think I asked this last time, actually. What is your all-time favorite car? We'll ask that first, so go ahead. All-time favorite car?
69 Cadillac DeVille.
All right. And your least favorite car to work on?
Fiat.
As a mechanic. Yep. I remember that. Fiat. That fucking Fiat.
That'll forever be my answer.
Doesn't change. I remember that from the last one. And lastly, man, the question I ask everybody: go-to munchies.
Sun chips.
Sun chips. Any particular flavor?
The salsa, the garden salsa sun chips.
Garden salsa sun chips. So you're a chip guy, like with the sun chips?
Yep.
Solid choices. Now, as we wind down, our episode here is coming to a close. Any final thoughts or advice for our levelers out there?
Stay elevated and just live life and have fun, man.
You heard it. Stay elevated, live life, have fun. That is going to be a wrap for today's episode of High Level Chronicles. A big shout out to Brian, a.k.a. Snacks, for joining us today. Remember, levelers, hit me up on your favorite socials at HLC Podcast 420. Let me know what you're leveling up on this week. Let me know what you'd like to see as far as future episode ideas, whatever you can think of. Hit me up on social, on our website, highlevelchronicles.com. As always, stay leveled up. I'm out.